Good evening, folks. Welcome to the next round of the Just in Time Randomizer Tournament, where tonight we are having Proccy taking on Janus in what promises to be a very good matchup. My name's Corinth, and I am joined tonight by Moon Blizzard, who is graciously offered to come help do some commentary and tracking for me so that I wasn't here all on my lonesome. How are you doing tonight, Moon?
Hello. I'm doing well, and you, Corinth?
Doing all right. I'm very excited to see how this race goes. For those of you who are new, Jets of Time is an open world-ish randomizer for Chrono Trigger. You will start off in 1000 AD with two random characters, the Epic and the ability to go through to 600 AD, take on a couple of dungeons, which will unlock key items, which may unlock other time periods, and we'll come through that as we go, as the race gets started, and we see Frog and Magus as our two primary characters.
Well, that's quite an interesting combination, considering they are enemies in vanilla. They don't get very well.
No, we even have a special race type called Medina Redeemed, where the entire point is to run with these two characters and only these two characters. That's not what we have going on tonight, though. Instead, they're going to be looking for some other characters and looking to make their way either through the Ocean Palace to fight Lavos or through the Black Omen to fight Zeal 2.
And we see Proccy heading directly into the desert. This is a very interesting strategy for the early game because you can get some very good equipment very early on. You just have to run away from a single fight, and you can loot about 10 chests in this area, which gives a mid to high tier loot. Meanwhile, Janus goes and do some shopping. We are looking for eaters, heals, revives, shelters, mid tonics, and some tabs that are available in 600 and 1000 AD, just to be prepared for all the other dungeons.
Yeah, getting the shopping done early. You're going to want mid tonics, you want some heals, you want a few revives. Ideally, you'd like to buy a few shelters, but you also may want to save enough money to go to the snail shop, which is where Janus is heading now. In the vanilla game, this gives you jerky. Here, it is selling you the Ruby Knife, which is one of the items required to get Go mode through the Ocean Palace. It costs 9,900 gold, so since it doesn't do anything for you immediately, a lot of people will wait and buy it later, but it's good to know where it is.
Yeah, it's one of the main key items required to open up the path to Lavos. You need the Ruby Knife to access the Ocean Palace. Without the Ruby Knife, you can't unlock the path to Lavos, which is the one of the two possible bosses that we can go and fight to win the seed. So by knowing where the Ruby Knife is, it will help them a lot, because that's one less key item required to reach Go mode.
And Janus has gone to the Carpenter. I don't remember what you get here. I think it's the tools originally, but instead we got the pendant.
Oh, pendant for Janus. Yeah, so the pendant is a very important key item that we really want to get as soon as possible, because it opens up a new era in the game. It opens up 2300 in the future, and it unlocks 3 more checks and a lot of sealed chests, a lot of very good loot behind those sealed chests, so it's quite convenient to find a very early pendant.
The downside, of course, you can't get any of that until you're able to go through the trial scene, where normally Chrono would be accused of stealing the pendant from Marl and be put on trial, sentenced to death. You escape through the prison, fight a dragon tank. You have to be able to do that entire sequence before you can get access to the future or all those sealed chests. So typically you're going to see another dungeon or two before that, just to get a few levels under your belt. And Janus is getting a few of those levels right now by doing the market fight in Medina, taking advantage of some interesting aspects of the random number generator behind Chrono Trigger to guarantee crits for Magus and make that fight be really easy.
Yeah, getting that fight very early on is really convenient because you get 5 levels, you get your first stacks. It's quite an easy fight if you do have a character such as Magus or Ayla that can deal huge amounts of damage right from the start without actually requiring a good starting weapon. If you happen to have someone like Chrono with a wood sword, then that's actually a problem because his damage is quite low, so you don't have the damage output required to do 200 damage to the Omnicron. So he can actually kill one of the characters, but you won't wipe in this fight in any way because he won't be able to hit the second character.
Yeah, and just by looking, it looks like in the desert, Proccy must have found a weapon for Frog because he was doing 120 damage a swing without a crit.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's why going to the desert very early on, most of the times I think it pays off because when you find a starting weapon, you don't have to worry too much about getting or buying a new weapon for a character, and it saves a lot of time in all normal fights that you get throughout the run.
And Proccy and Janus have both come to Xenon Bridge to trigger a cutscene later that will allow them to go onto the bridge and fight Zombor. And both are proceeding into the cathedral. I didn't see what tech was gained by Frog. I don't think it was Water 2. So we're just going to see auto attacks going through, trying to kill all the Nagaets.
Yeah, it was Slurp Cut. Yeah, in Slurp Cut, unfortunately, we can see the damage difference right now. Proccy was doing more than 100 damage while Janus only doing 25. So that's why going for the chests in the deserts paying off makes the battle go faster. So Proccy has already finished his Naga sequence. He got a weapon for Luca. And by finishing this sequence, we will be getting a new character, and it's Luca. Oh, Luca and a weapon for her.
Well, that's awfully convenient. Luca, of course, being one of the better mages in the game, just able to do ridiculous amounts of damage with all of her spells. Having a weapon on her can be not important if you get some good spells with her. And Proccy left the cathedral. He's not going to do the cathedral and finish it. All finishing of the cathedral will do is give you a 4th character. But the characters Marl and Robo are required for 2 specific quests. And so by not doing the cathedral, you may end up in a point where you can't progress until you go back.
This is a very interesting decision. I'm really excited to see how this is going to pay out for Proccy because he's going to save like 4 minutes here. I mean, save, considering he won't need actually the character behind Cathedral, so it's a gamble.
All right, and Thomas
Pop, is he going to take it? Thomas Pop is a key item that unlocks Giant's Claw dungeon. It's a key item. It's a key item that unlocks a new dungeon, and this dungeon will give you an extra key item if you defeat Rusta Reno.
All right, I just saw Frog learn Frog Squash, so that'll be the 2nd tech. Very useful later on, not too helpful early. And it looks like Luca's first tech is going to be Flame Toss whenever she learns it.
Flame Toss. That's not going to help a lot for Luca right now. Let's see if she's going to learn something stronger for her first 3 techs.
Yeah, we're about to see if Ozzy.
We do have to make
good.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
I was going to say, we're about to see if Ozzy drops something good. Ozzy has a tendency to drop high-level items, and he dropped a Hurricane.
A Hurricane!
And typically, whatever he drops in the first fight, he'll drop for the second as well, which means you'll get an extra one that you can sell for 8,000 or so gold.
I just remember last week, actually, during our race, when I found the prism specs by in this section. Ozzy was dropping prism specs, and that drop table is incredible because you can get prism specs, haste helms, lots of good stuff here.
Rainbows, wonder shots,
rainbows, and it's such an early area in the game.
Someone's asking in chat, did some items get renamed? If you are used to playing the Steam version, then technically no, the Steam version was renamed, or the DS version was renamed. Yeah. They are different than what's in the more recent releases, but these are the original names. So yes, but also no.
Yeah, I was going to commentate about the limitations of characters regarding magic. They can't learn any magic, any tech. They can just learn the first 3 techs to unlock the extra techs. You do have to unlock magic, like in vanilla. Chrono, Mar, Luca, and Frog, they all require you to visit Specchio to unlock magic so that you can learn the 4th and on techs. For that, you need to either finish the factory, clear the factory, so that you can unlock the gate to reach the end of time, or if they find the gate key, they can use the gate key to unlock prehistory and going in the portal there to reach end of time to unlock magic.
All right. Meanwhile, Proccy is fighting Zombor. When fighting Zombor, you typically want to kill the head first. Otherwise, he does some pretty massive AoE attacks on you. The head being taken down will drain one character of all their MP. And Janus, at the same time, is fighting Yakra in the cathedral. Taking that down will give you access to a 4th character in the 600 AD Guardia Palace.
Yeah, and it's very interesting to note that the amount of time required to clear Cathedral is actually longer than the amount of time required to clear Xenobridge, which is quite interesting. We have to consider that.
Because nothing stops Proccy from going back and clearing Cathedral at a higher level and this fight being quicker. But doing Cathedral early gives you a fair number of items and does make certain fights early easier, such as Mount Denadoro, where Proccy is doing his starting his climb.
Oh, and we see Fire 2 for Luca. That's a very efficient tech to have early on.
Fire 2 basically means Luca can now press A on any non-boss battle and the fight is over.
Yeah, I think about party decision. We have to consider it will boil down to the techs Magus is going to learn. If he learns very good techs very early on, such as Dark Matter, Dark Bomb, Dark Mist, even Ice 2 to help do the desert check. The Magus is a character that we really don't want to go with the to the end game most of the time, because he's very good for the early game and mid game, but for the very end game, sometimes he lacks HP, lacks survivability.
Now we see Janus made it through his Yakra battle fairly easily. Because he went to Xenobridge first, the king has technically already been injured, so the Chancellor reports to an empty chair that you need a justice system. Surely that's not going to come back and bite anyone in the butt. And we're going to find out who the fourth character is. If you do the Cathedral, you're almost hoping that this is either Marl or Robo, because it means that you didn't waste your time. And
yeah, we see a question in chat. Chrono. Wouldn't his magic barrier be good though, especially late game? Yeah, it's good. It's a good tech to use, but by the late game, you do have access to items, consumables that do actually the same thing, which is barriers. barriers do reduce the magic damage by 1/3, just like Magic Wall. Magic Wall is really good if you don't happen to find barriers for sale. So it's quite convenient, but usually we end up with several barriers, so you can use those.
Okay, so Procky has abandoned Dinodoro, turned around, and has come to Hecarim Cave, I guess because Luca has Fire 2, and that makes that fight kind of easy? I was surprised he went as deep as Dinodoro without finishing it.
I was not following why he did, maybe for the attack points, maybe to unlock Fire 2, but maybe to help unlocking Dark Mist, but Hecarim Cave, all those battles here, they do give you a lot of tech points, so it's quite convenient. 25 tech points for the early game is really nice. And Megas just learned Dark Mist.
Yeah, and
so this is going to be an easy check.
Bug. It's in vanilla Chrono Trigger as well. Whenever you learn a tech, however many tech points you earn that many tech points again. And so for a character like Magus, who doesn't learn his first tech until early, but doesn't have to unlock magic, you can actually go 4 or 5 techs deep into his tree before you unlock magic because of that doubling tech point bug by coming to Hecarim's Cave.
Yeah, we see Janus did decided to nope out of the Thomas Pop key item. That's a very interesting decision because by getting Thomas Pop, in this seed, we have to clear Xenon Bridge to keep the Thomas Pop and then go and unlock Giant's Claw. Maybe Giant's Claw key item is going to be something like Tools or Robo's Ribbon, something that doesn't give progression. So it's an interesting decision.
It may be trying to make up. You went and did the Cathedral to get a character that it turns out you may not need. So now you're skipping Thomas Pop on the hope that whatever's behind Giant's Claw is something you don't need.
Yeah, so Hecarim Cave, it's a very fast check. And it's very rewarding in terms of tech points. It's not rewarding in terms of items that you get because the drop table here is quite low. It's not high. But in terms of tech points, this fight that Proc is doing, it's actually skippable. But he decided to take it and get 25 tech points. And by having Megas in his party, right now, I think they all have learned, both Frog and Luca, they all have learned the first 3 techs, and Megas is the only character that's actually benefiting from tech points right now. I don't know if he's going to learn something like Dark Matter next.
Yeah, so we've got Dark Mist, you've got Fire 2. The Hecarim fight should be fairly easy. Frog doesn't have any magic learned, so he doesn't have any attack that is magical in nature learned. So he gets to sit on Ether duty and Mid-Tonic duty, where he just tosses out Mid-Tonic so he can keep everyone healed. Slurp cut.
And there's his slurp cut.
Good job, Poppy. Slurp Hecarim to death. Admittedly, I would find it hilarious if you timed out the HP perfectly so that Slurp Cut would actually kill him.
Yeah, that would have been really interesting. Hecarim usually attacks with a water-based attack. This Cyclone is water. If you have blue vests or blue males, it's quite convenient to use them because it makes the battle even easier. If you take a long time to kill Hecarim, he is going to take a defensive stance that whenever, this was fast, but he takes a defensive stance and he will counter with an AoE water-based attack whenever you hit him. So when he takes that defensive stance, you have to wait until he lowers that state.
All right, and Janus following along behind now. Procky just finished up his. Janus has Dark Mist on Magus, so also should have a fairly easy fight versus Hecarim. And your reward is a Prism Shard.
Prism Shard. That's Prism Shard for Procky.
So the Prism Shard is part of the Rainbow Shell quest. You have to have Marl in your party to complete it. And you'll go through a sequence involving both Guardian Castle in 600 AD and 1000 AD. And then later, if you get the Sunstone, you can get an extra key item after talking to Melchior and having completed the Prism Shard quest. But right now, with no Marl, that Prism Shard is useless. And Procky is ignoring Taco's screaming and not going to the future. Taco here is one of the members of our community. He's basically earned the nickname The Prophet for being able to tell us where everything is. So, Taco, if you're still out there, let us know where you think Go Mode's going to go today.
Yeah, I do remember. I that I played and Taco was watching. He actually said all the key items that I was going to get, like 3, 4 in a row. And he nailed all of them. That was fun.
So Janus doing the heifer fight while Procky is climbing Dinodoros, doing all of the fight skips. You can actually get through Dinodoro, I think, and only have the required fights at the beginning, and that's it, other than the boss. So a lot of times you'll see people skip a bunch of fights here because you get better experience and tech points later on in the game to make up for it.
Yeah, this sequence right here, skipping this sequence of fights that Procky just did, it actually saves you 2 minutes. Climbing, and he's going for the extra chests. Climbing the Dinodoro Mountains is really quick if you nail all the skips. I think you can go like a couple of minutes just to... Oh, and Pearl Badge. I think that's a better weapon for... Yes, better weapon for Frog. So it's quite easy and fast to climb Dinodoro Mountains. You just have to clear the very first fight, which is a mandatory fight, and you can run away or skip all of the other ones.
Don't forget, this is the life. Mountains are nice, but we don't do that anymore because it's just a magic tab.
And Procky even is keeping the save point, actually. That's bold.
And we do have in chat people asking about what is Go Mode.
Ooh, Blue Rock.
Go Mode is the requirements to be able to complete the game. So in Jets, you have 3 paths of Go Mode. You can get the Gate Key, the Ruby Knife, and the Dreamstone, and that will allow you to eventually fight Lavos. Or you can get both parts of the Masamune, Frog, and the Ruby Knife and go through Magus's Castle, which will take you to Ocean Palace to fight Lavos. Or you can get the Pendant, Clone, and Chrono Trigger, and you'll go climb Death's Peak, summon Black Omen, and then fight Zeal 2 above Earth, because somehow we can all breathe in space.
All chests are randomized. Yeah, all chests are randomized in this in Jets of Time. And I would also like to point out the Blue Rock. There are 5 moments. There are 5 checks of rocks in vanilla, when you get the rocks, blue, white, golden rock, white, blue, black, and they all enable you a triple tech. And Procky just got the Blue Rock. The Blue Rock is the one that gives you access to Omega Flare. The only character remaining that's required for him to use Omega Flare is Robo right now. So maybe that's an option for the end game, because Omega Flare is a really powerful triple tech.
Yeah, and we see some people asking, can you get to Lavos from the end of time? Yes, but only after you have already lost the Lavos. So if you make it to Ocean Palace, you're fighting the Lavos shell, or you're fighting Lavos Phase 2, and you lose either of those fights, you are then able to take the bucket at the end of time to go back to fight Lavos. You can also use the epic to fly to 1999 AD when the world ends, but again, only after you've lost to Lavos once.
Yeah, and Mass Immune Fight is a very tricky fight to have very early on, because each attack, he does like really strong, and he can actually wipe most characters with just 2 attacks. So usually you always want to be using mid tonics, and mid tonics everyone that's being hit. Fortunately for Procky, he did have access to red pin, and it's a very good tech for dual tech, Frog and Lucas dual tech with a powerful weapon for Frog.
It dropped a Mega Elixir.
It dropped a Mega Elixir. Oh,
well, that's nice. We're seeing to talk about the items and chests, like how do you know what's good? Typically, the further in the game it is, the better the loot is. Bosses pull from their own table, which is why someone who's in the Jet seeds a fairly early boss like Masamune can still drop a Mega Elixir.
Yeah, and I'm seeing at Janus' screen, he's actually hitting the shields, but it's not doing a lot of damage with physical attacks, which is interesting. The shields are open.
All right, so Procky has found the Robo Ribbon, which would be really good if you had a morphic robot on your party. But we don't.
Robo Ribbon.
Robots don't exist. Don't ask anyone.
Yeah, maybe he's going to do the prison sequence right now.
Yeah, so. Janus is already doing the prison sequence, is broken out of the jail, and is about to fight the Dragon Tank. Normally, when you fight the Dragon Tank in vanilla, it's Chrono and Luca versus the Dragon Tank, and the Dragon Tank is immune to lightning and fire damage, or at least the head is. Here, you get to fight with 3 characters, assuming you've unlocked 3 characters, and it's still only immune to fire and lightning, which means something like Dark Mist does massive amounts of damage and might possibly one-shot the entire boss.
Yeah, this boss, interesting enough, he is one of the easiest with the highest drop rates. You can get some amazing loot, and he drops about 2 to 3 items, and they are all really, really high tier. And it's quite a simple, quite an easy boss. If you
each part of the boss actually counts as a boss, so they each pull from the boss table.
Yeah, that's why Janus is going for the Dark Mist.
No one-shot this time, though.
Yeah, maybe
what is a lot of fun is
Dark Matter.
Yeah, what's really nice is if you get here and you have Luca and Marl, and you cast Anapode, which is shadow damage for 2,000 damage a pop. Or if you have like Marl and Ayla, and you can do Cube Toss for 2,000 damage a pop.
Yeah, the downside of not doing Cathedral, Procky, by not doing Cathedral, he misses the Bromide reward, the Nagarat Bromide reward, which is a combination of tabs. Yeah, so a speed tab, a magic tab, and a power tab. He's not going to have access to. The most notorious one that would be really good is the speed tab, because speed is really important. We are doing a speed run. Oh, it would be really good to have more speed.
Yeah, who would have thought going fast is important in a race? The Atropos bow. So what the bow is, typically you get that from Atropos as part of Genodome. Because there's no guarantee you're going to go to Genodome, it got turned into an item as opposed to a reward from a fight. On the plus side, that means you can get it really early. On the downside, it means it takes up an accessory slot.
And Janus, by finishing the prison sequence, he is able now, we have the early pendant flag on, he's able to open all the sealed doors here in the future. They give some really good equipment and consumables. This was not the best sealed door rewards I've seen, but
that's a bunch of
there's another one here.
Yeah. The reason it's tracked is because it was the key item drop from Denadoro. That's why the Robo's ribbon is tracked.
Yeah, and I just saw that market selling barriers, so that would be very good for preparing for the Son of Sun check, because you do require some fire protection, and barriers help a lot, but for survivability for that check. So having barriers there is quite convenient, so it enables them to do an early Son of Sun if they decide to buy and use that.
Yep, barrier's nice. Ideally, you're going to find a red vest somewhere. And so I think we're going to see both runners do what Janus is doing right now, which is go do the Arisdome fight, because it has a sealed door with 4 chests behind it and an extra shop in the start of the dungeon, basically. So you get an extra chance at finding the fire absorption gear to make Son of Sun a laughable fight.
Yeah, and then we have the decision points that we all have, but when we're playing Jets of Time Seeds, because maybe a strategy of avoiding Arisdome and just going for Son of Sun, maybe Gate Key is there, maybe I don't know, the Dreamstone is there, and maybe Arisdome has something like tools or the Jerky. So it's always tricky. We don't know. We have to be gambling and making decisions all the time. So that's the fun of this, to playing Jets of Time.
Okay, we see Janus has put Chrono in. I didn't see what sword they got for him, but it must be a good one if you're putting him in over Frog with a Pearl Edge. Oh, and Janus, unfortunate Dark Mist not doing 500 damage to the bits. Causing the Delta attack counterattack. Oh, and Cecil being the eyes for us. Chrono has a Shiva Edge. Okay, that's fair.
I don't remember when they got that.
I don't know, but that's 4x good crits. And something to keep in mind for people who may be new to the randomizer, the Guardian, which is the large robot on Janus' screen right now, the center large robot is immune to fire damage, meaning Luca is not particularly helpful against the center part. The 2 bits on the side are weak to fire, or can be at least be damaged by it. But the center doesn't do it. But it doesn't matter if you've got Chrono with the Shiva Edge and Confused. He's just going to burn through all of his MP and kill things.
Yeah, and then we see why Chrono is so item dependent by having... Ooh, a swallow. By having a very good sword for him, you can actually decide, and that's what it makes you decide to bring him into the party, because then he will be able to do some decent damage. If you don't have a good weapon for him, I mean, Chrono doesn't help very much. He really needs a good weapon.
All right, Procky is going to go check for the character that is locked away in the future, which is the back of this dome. I did see that Taco said Marl would be back here, and that Prism Shard would lead to go mode. So this is the first part of his prediction.
Yeah, Luminaire is really solid, really good. If you don't have a good weapon for Chrono, then it's a possibility to use Chrono for the last battles. Oh, it's Ayla.
Well, it is someone with blonde hair, so Taco's half right?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, maybe.
Having Ayla in your party, though, I mean, Ayla is one of the generally stronger characters. Learns triple kick. Triple kick is just crazily OP. Janus is finishing up Airstone, is getting the 4 sealed chests that are in the back. Kind of your last best chance to get some fire absorption gear before Son of Sun.
Let's see. Loot here. Full tonic. Mega elixir.
Okay.
Yeah, just the mega.
That's kind of lackluster, really, other than the mega elixir.
Yeah, the mega elixir is fine. It's good. Yeah, so let's talk about where do you find characters. You start with 2 characters. They are all randomized, so you start with 2 random characters. You get another one at Cathedral. You can unlock a new character if you do have access to prehistory, and you climb the actual nest, but for that you need the gate key. You can unlock a new character at Protodome, but for that you need the pendant and access to the future. And you can unlock an extra character by forging the Mass Immune, both pieces of the sword, and then going through to Frog's Burrow. You can unlock a new character there.
Yeah, so basically, one character per time period. Once you get your, well, I guess that's not true. 600 AD's got like 3.
Yeah.
I was thinking once you
see what Janus' reward is.
We've got a jerky.
Jerky for Janus.
So jerky in this game will unlock a single high tier item by turning it in 600 AD and then going to 1000 AD and talking to the grateful grandson, the mayor of the city, who was taught kindness by his great grandmother.
Yeah, so now we have to.
That could be anything. That could be Wonder Shot, Prism Dress, Prism Specs, Rainbow. I think it's like one of 13 or 14 high-end items.
Yeah, so rewards for finishing Ares Dome so far: a Swallow, a Brave Sword, a Mega Elixir, and a Jerky.
I mean, maybe that jerky turns out to be
Janus,
something really good.
Yeah, let's hope so. Janus is starting his battle against Son of Sun. He uses fire-based attacks. You do have to hit the right flame in order to damage him. You only need 10 hits. So Janus just discovered the right one, so he needs 10 hits. Son of Sun will attack with flare, so that's the bad. That's
rip everyone not named Luca. And the reset.
That's why I actually mentioned before that buying barriers would be interesting for this fight, because it would avoid those wipes, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, Son of Sun's Flare will do around 250 to 350 damage, depending on the character's magic defense and level. At this point, we were seeing near 300 damage.
Good call, Janus. Good call.
So basically, if you don't have fire protection gear, you have to have a barrier to survive until you get to like level 18.
I do remember someone got a green dream from somewhere. I don't remember exactly where, but a green dream is a very useful item to use in the Son of Sun fight, because it will allow you to have one auto revive. And it's quite convenient because you don't have to use a barrier, or you don't have to have any kind of fire resistance at all. You can just use a green dream.
This time, Janus finds the correct flame on the first try. Even though it's the same flame that it was last time, that is not a guarantee. It is RNG gated. So he just got lucky. But still, finding either flame on your first attack is really nice.
Very lucky. Yeah, that's survivability. And that's jerky for Rocky. I wonder if he's going to check the jerky right now, or he's going to wait and do Son of Sun instead.
I would expect that usually if you're here and you think there's any way in the world you can survive the fight, you do Son of Sun just to get it done.
Yeah. I don't remember if... Oh, he has 3 barriers. That's good.
I always see Procky going ahead and using some of his tabs. He puts magic tabs on Luca, which is an interesting choice. Most of the time, you use your magic tabs on a healer because it actually benefits healing more than it benefits damage for reasons.
Apparently, it's only me that likes to use Green Dream. Oh!
Because of Chrono's death, he wasn't able to get the 10 hits, and the second flare went off.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, and we see a simultaneous Son of Sun fight. This is getting interesting.
I mean, you know, if the sun passes in front of the sun, it's an eclipse. I don't know what it's called if a sun passes in front of a sun, other than really hot.
Yeah, I think it's only me that likes to use Green Dreams on this fight. This. Yeah, so that's the sound we are looking for. You have to hit him the right frame 10 times. Sometimes he will shuffle, and he will always flare right at the start. So you
that one HP on Chrono.
Uh-oh.
But I mean, Son of Sun's next attack is a single target Shadow Beam. And if it goes on anyone other than Chrono, he's fine.
He's fine.
Maybe. Actually, I take back. Maggots and Luca might still die to it.
And Frog with 6 HP. They could be using Flame Toss also. Flame Toss is a possibility to hit multiple flames in order to find the correct one.
Yeah, the downside of doing that is that you're guaranteed to take some counterattacks, and Luca actually has enough HP. She could have survived it. But
some very tight HP values there.
Okay, Janus made it through this time.
Woo! Both.
Yeah, once you make the 10 attacks, there's actually a period where more attacks won't do anything good. So you kind of just have to wait, and you'll eventually get a message that says Son of Sun's losing fire. That's when you've won the fight. But now we see Dreamstone
for both of them. So they are one item away because they know they can buy the ruby knife. The only item actually that they need right now is the gate key. If they happen to find the gate key somewhere, then it's go mode for both of them.
Yeah. And near simultaneous finish, but Procky is going to go get his jerky item. Janus is going to go pick up his extra character. Mermaid caps.
Let's do a refresh. What are the open checks they have right now? We do know Procky has the Thomas Pop, so that's a check. Behind Giant's Claw is a key item. He's getting Vigil Head. That's good.
Janus said no to Ayla.
Protection. No. Oh. Okay.
Okay.
I think he's counting on having Chrono with the Shiva Edge. Oh, and Janus is doing the factory skip. Is he? Yeah, factory skip.
Yeah,
Nice.
so you could actually skip out of the first fight of the factory by some careful manipulation of your standing point. The reason you go to the factory is to unlock magic. There is 2 paths to unlocking magic. One is having the gate key, which would be go mode, or the other is completing the factory path, which will give you access to the end of time.
Yeah, so Janus decided to go to the factory because we're not finding the gate key anywhere. So that's actually a problem because both Luca and Chrono, they won't be able to run any more attacks. And it's going to make him struggle for the end game if he doesn't. If he takes a lot of time to get the final and the best attacks in the game for them. That's why I think he decided to go for the factory.
Yeah, you're trying to get that
magic as soon as possible.
Luca flare.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Chrono's got confused.
The way,
it's not Luminaire, but it's good enough.
It's good enough, yeah. The way that skip works, actually you have to gather as soon as you can start moving your characters when they all gather, so that's why he gathered them before hitting the switch, the computer. So he could start moving them earlier than expected, so he could run away. And the best attack to use against the acids and the alkalines are lightning-based attacks or slash.
Because
I don't think Negative has lightning too. Yeah, yeah.
All right, and we see Procky going into Giant's Claw. Giant's Claw is another dungeon that you can skip all but one fight.
Yeah, sometimes I just mention it separately because sometimes we don't. Some people don't remember slash as being a lightning-based attack. And Giant's Claw is Giant's Claw is a very fast check. I think that's why we see Procky deciding to do Giant's Claw instead of going for the other checks available. What other checks we have available right now, Corinth?
Excuse me, we've got Giant's Claw available. We have Genodome available. We've got...
That's it?
I think that's it. Janus still has Xenon Bridge to do, but we already know what's on it. Janus has Denadoro to do, but we already know what's on it. I think that's it. Because without Gate Key, you can't get another character. Marl or Robo is locked in 65 million BC. The other is locked into Frog's Hut. To get the one in Frog's Hut, you need both parts of the Masamune. So with only 2 locations left for Procky, it either has to be both parts of the Masamune to give you access through Magus' castle to go climb Mount Woe to get like the gate key, or Robo has to be there, or Marl or Robo would unlock an extra check. So I guess there is a couple of options there. But the annoying possibility is that you get double sword parts, have to go through Magus' castle to get gate key.
But the way, yeah. But from what we are seeing right now, I think they have 2 checks. It's Giant's Claw and Genodome. They do have to give further progression, so it's not going to be clone trigger or anything like that. One of those they have to give progression.
Yeah, the combination of Giant's Claw plus Genodome must unlock at least one other check. So one of them is the gate key, or they are both parts of the Masamune.
Yeah. Or also we have Hero Medal, a possibility.
True.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Now, doing factory and getting access at the end of the time does not actually open up any other checks. It gives you access to magic, but you can't use the bucket to go fight Lavos because you haven't lost to Lavos yet.
So if this is not a key item that gives him progression, so it's just Genodome then.
Yeah, and if this is not progression, then Genodome is go mode. And that's a Moonstone, which means Genodome has the gate key.
Yeah, because I mean it's either the gate key or Hero Medal with the gate key. That leads to the gate key. So it's a sub 1 hour go mode possibly.
No, I don't think so, because Proccy hasn't done the cathedral. He doesn't know that Chrono's locked there and might be a character to unlock things. And now he's going to go gamble on Gino.
Oh,
that was almost huge.
This is getting tricky. No.
No, where are you going, Proccy? There's nothing in 1000 AD that you care about.
Is there?
I don't think so. Now he's going to 600. I don't know where Proccy's going.
I don't think he's going to do Genodome.
He was thinking about it and then decided to go do Cathedral after leaving Cathedral, coming back to Cathedral,
okay, question.
leaving Cathedral.
Okay, question number 1 that we're going to ask Proccy after the race is why?
Yeah, no, it'll be like, okay, so you went to the Cathedral, landed, changed your mind, left, went towards Genodome, changed your mind again and went back. And we know that that's a terrible idea.
Oh my.
So if Janus goes straight to Geno...
I think he's playing the odds here by counting on the fact that there is a 1 in 3 chance of this not giving him progression. So I think that's why he decided to do Cathedral, because if it's small or Robo, it's going to give him progression because it will enable him to do some extra checks.
Right. But the downside for Janus is that Janus knows there's a progression-ish check at Zedenbridge. He knows there's Thomas Pop there. He also hasn't done Denadoro Mountain.
Yeah, so technically he's behind.
I would expect him to go do Denadoro.
I mean, he's looking for Marlon Robo, but he decided at the very first, at the very beginning of the season, he was going to not do Cathedral, and then he changed his mind because maybe Genodome is not he doesn't think Genodome is the play, or it's kind of long, or it will be like require a lot of time to clear, and maybe it's something like...
I mean, Genodome is the longest non-in-game dungeon, so I'm not surprised. Other than the fact that he thought about it, stopped, and then went back. That's the only part that surprised me, is that he went, left, and then came back.
Yeah. I mean, so it's kind of a 3-minute check for him right now.
Yeah, and that suggests to me maybe he thinks he isn't strong enough without Flare to do Genodome, because you have to go through the conveyor belt sequence for very heavy fights with minimal AoE magic.
I mean, he has Fire 2 and the Silver Stud. Maybe that's enough?
I think it would be, but it would be tricky on the last 2 fights where you've got some of the more high-powered robots.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I mean, Taco's right. This is a 2-in-3 shot that he gets some sort of progression on this, because Marl or Robo, either one, opens up a check. So the odds are in his favor.
I think
but they're not.
Yeah, they are not. I mean, yeah, you have to gamble every time, and this will cost him several minutes.
And that is one of the things that is
I mean,
really
but for
nice
now that
about Jets is that there is this
Yeah.
gamble aspect. Because even though watching with a little bit of extra knowledge makes it readily apparent where you should go, mathematically, Procky is making the right move. But mathematically, you
Yeah.
can do all the right things in Vegas and lose all your money. So, I mean, what's that mean?
Very true, very true.
Now, I would argue that Dinodoro Mountain is almost as long of a check as Genodome. Not quite, but it's close.
Really? I think I would say, yeah, I can agree with that. But for the very early game, if you do Dinodoro Mountains, like for your second check, maybe your first check or second check, it's kind of a very long boss fight that you have. Mass Immune boss fight takes a long time if you don't have the proper damage output required for that.
Right.
So it might take a while to finish. Maybe I do remember having like 5 minutes, maybe more.
Yeah, I mean,
fight.
this will be a faster fight for Janus because it is later in the game. He's got a little bit of extra magic, but Genodome has much better loot than Dinodoro, and I think if it came down to I've got Dinodoro or Genodome, Genodome might be the better play just because the loot's better.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I do like Genodome check because it actually prepares you for your go mode. I mean, if you happen to have magic unlocked before that, if you don't, then that's kind of a problem because you do have. I mean, you are actually wasting a lot of tech points that you're getting here. I don't know how many, but I think it's about 300, maybe.
Yeah, it's a lot because
just kind of
the little lasers that you fight give quite a few tech points, and there's 2 fights against 6 of them, and I think they're like 50 tech points apiece. Like the fights are 50 tech points, not each laser. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, and I mean, by giving up 300 tech points, it's kind of yeah, it's a decision that you have to make because then you'll not be as prepared as you would be for your go mode.
Yeah, so we do see him putting Ayla in the party. Ayla will earn tech points because she doesn't have to unlock magic. Magus will earn tech points because he doesn't have to unlock magic. Luca,
yeah. The only problem here is Luca not learning Flare as fast as she could.
But we do know that we're going to be getting the gate key, which means we're going to be going through Ocean Palace. Ocean Palace has the best grinding spot in the game because there is a fight in Ocean Palace that is repeatable on entry of a room that's 80 tech points. And the final grind sequence up to the final boss does something like 650 tech points. So long as Flare isn't her absolute final tech, you're probably okay.
Yeah, but even still, by having Blaze Kick already unlocked, that's really good, and it's going to help him a lot because we will be using. I mean, if we have Luca and Ayla, we'll be using Blaze Kick more than Flare for several boss fights. So it's not that bad.
And that's an interesting thought. You could go the entire time and just not bother unlocking magic because you'll have Blaze Kick.
Yeah, that
would be very interesting.
I would think about that.
Against Lavos 2, you're going to really miss having Flare.
Lavos 2?
Yeah, the Lavos main phase. Because there's Lavos Shell, then Lavos, then Lavos Core, I guess. But I always think
then you'd be missing because
of Lavos 3. But yeah.
Because you need to hit the arms and kill the arms as fast as possible, and Flare is the tech that you need right there.
Because, you'll have Dark Matter, which is good, but it's not Flare.
Yeah. And if you have Flare and Dark Matter, that's even better.
Yeah, Flare plus Dark Matter, I think, will kill the left bit in one go. I don't know if Dark Matter plus Blaze Kick will. It might. But it will only kill the left arm and not both.
But then you won't be healing, and he's going to wipe 2 characters with the boomerangs.
Not if you kill the left arm.
Yeah.
Oh, Janus is making us sad. He's going to do Zetan Bridge and get Thomas Pop, which means he's going to go do Giant's Claw. No, Janus, turn back. No. Turn back now.
No, it's your chance. It's your chance. Oh my. It's Thomas Pop for Janus.
Soda will kill you.
Oh my. I think he will regret his decision when he sees the Moonstone after 10 minutes.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating thing is that you have the Thomas Pop now, but it's a dungeon plus this little fight gauntlet before you get your next item, so it's 10 minutes before you even realize that, nope, this was a terrible idea.
Yeah. So this will give about a 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes advantage.
I think it'll be about a 20-minute, because he'll still have to go run Genodome.
Oh my.
This will make it incredibly difficult, barring, Lavos wipes and such. Lavos is the great equalizer in Jets of Time, more so than Zeal.
Yeah.
If Lavos does not want you to finish the game, Lavos will say no, and you will not finish the game. That's it.
I don't know if Proc decided to get this fight just to get some extra levels. You can just avoid the robot, but they give you quite some decent experience.
Procky has shown me there is a technique that allows you to bypass half of Genodome by having near perfect inputs on the conveyor belt to allow you to unlock it without, or to get the robot without doing the switch.
The sequence, yeah, I've seen that in action. It's so tight. I've never personally tried that and tried to understand or even practice that, but it's awesome to see. I think
he's going for it.
Maybe he's trying. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so basically he has to make every corner just about. I saw him practicing this. It took him 4 or 5 tries to get it, but if you do it, it saves you half of Genodome, basically. Now, Cecil pointing out,
how many tries?
In the glitchless speedrun, it's super risky, and Puexel, who is the world record holder, stresses over doing this.
Go, Procky, go!
Oh, that's so close.
Oh, no.
This gives Janus time to catch up. Never mind, Procky gave up.
Oh.
No, Procky, come back! Swag on us!
Okay. It was fun to watch. It would have been really nice if he had got it, but that's okay, I guess. Not as exciting, but that's okay, I guess.
Alright, so we're going through Genodome the normal way now. Janus is heading towards the Adventurer's Grave to drop off the Thomas Pop.
But again, that's 32 tech points, 2000 HP, and there's a lot of fights. There's actually a tab, a magic tab that you can grab. I think I missed it. It's a power tab, magic tab.
Yeah, it's a power tab there in Genodome that's in the corner of the hallway.
Yeah.
No one has a whole.
And there's a magic tab after. I really don't like doing Genodome.
Yeah,
without
speed. you run the risk of a party wipe coming up because there is a fight with 6 of these little laser bots, and they can shoot each other, and when they do, they self-destruct and do like 200 damage. And if you don't have like 13, 14 speed, you will, I mean, you could get hit by 5 of them, and that will wipe your party.
And getting a wipe at Genodome before saving the second floor, it's like a huge time loss. So
Yeah.
we don't want to see that in any way.
There is an extra speed tab in here that I did not know about that Rocky showed me after he did this crazy skip, where you go pick up one of the 2 little sheep dolls. He's actually going to do the glitch that gets you there quicker. You can glitch the robot through a fake wall, come here, get the speed tab, and bypass like half of the little escort quest.
And he will be there for you.
Yeah. He actually goes through, there's like a opening in the wall that it can pass through that you can't, that has the little cameras on it. And you bypass going around that corner.
Yeah, I learned this route from watching Proccy doing it, and I really love it. So convenient.
And we just missed the validation cat on Janus's screen. All praise validation cat. All right, so making our way
this is the
through
point.
Giant's Claw. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say this is the moment that you really want to speed, because there are a sequence of 3 fights against the laser guards, and the next one with 6 of them, if you were not fast enough, that's a party wipe.
I do think I saw Proccy save, so if he does wipe, it's not terrible.
Yeah, he did save, yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, prism
that's
dress.
nice. The prism dress. That's a chest that a lot of us don't check anymore, just because it's an extra 3 seconds. But that was worth it.
Yeah, I do like to check that chest over there. I don't like to check the other one that actually requires you going through a small cutscene. Uh-oh.
All right, so there's the first detonation, 130 damage. And okay, Magnus gets his attack off, so you're good. He could have taken like another 2 of those. So Proccy's going to be getting ready for the Mother Brain fight, while Janus is doing the Rust Chrono fight. Rust Chrono basically being a DPS check. Can you get roughly 8 to 10,000 damage in under 5 ATB turns? And being this late in the game, and Chrono with Confuse, and Magus with stuff, the answer is absolutely.
Yeah, if you are not able to do the enough damage required for Rust Chrono, he's going to do an AoE fire-based attack that deals about 300 damage. So yeah, it's better if you are able to finish him before that.
Is Rust Chrono always fire?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Raster could, Cecil can confirm that, but
Black Tyranno, which is at the end of Tyranno layer in 65 million BC, is not a set element, but Rust Tyranno may be. And yes, he is set fire. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, that's fire.
I might be tempted to come here with like red vests now, even though the fight would take longer.
Yeah, so the way this battle against Mother Brain works, you don't want to hit and kill all the monitors. If you do that, she's going to go mad and do very powerful AoE, non-elemental attacks, very strong AoE attacks. So you have to make sure you can use status effects such as Leap, and maybe Hypnowave with Luca is a possibility, Boogie from Ayla and Robo. But she has very low HP. I think it's about 3,500.
Yeah, it's low, but she's getting healed for 900 damage a turn.
And Magus has 55 HP, so that's bad, I guess.
And Janus has made it to Genodome. And Magus is there.
Brockney. Oh my.
That prism dress saved Luca.
Maybe. There was a lot of healing going on.
Everyone is so low.
Oh no! Triple kick! Blaze kick! Everett! Oh my! No!
Luca's down to 13 HP! And we just auto-attacked! Oh, Ayla doesn't have MP for triple kick anymore! Oh no!
Oh my!
He's gonna burn a Mega Elixir!
Okay, that was exciting, but...
Okay, he's probably good now. Well, maybe not. Luca's confused.
And he needs Luca for the blaze kicks. Well, I mean, I would have...
So you can attack the computers with auto attacks. They have 1 HP. Take out 2 of the 3, and you're fine.
Yeah. Even still, I think a blaze kick plus dark mist would be something good to use.
Except
because
Magus is dead.
That would be about her HP. I mean, yeah, but yeah.
Let's see. So blaze kick does
a lot of healing
damage. She's been healed for 600, so it's at 1800. Now it's at 1500. Blaze kick will do another 2400 damage. That should.
It takes a lot of. This fight should. I mean, usually it's fast. It doesn't take.
Yeah, every time you go in and out of the menus, every time you go in and out of the menus, you do progress the enemy ATB slightly, even more than what yours gets increased by. That almost was enough of a heal to keep it down again.
Oh my!
But now we get a prism helm and a speed
helm. That was rewarding, but I mean, spending that, maybe that Mega Elixir will... Ooh, that's a gate key for Brocky. But anyway,
so
not having...
and a go mode.
Yeah, the problem was actually having to use a Mega Elixir, but... I mean, he survived, I guess. That's better.
Technically, it's not go mode yet. He has to remember that the Ruby Knife is at the snail stop. And he's not going to go get it. Yeah. Why is he not going to go get the Ruby Knife at the snail stop?
Maybe he's eager.
Maybe he wants magic.
Teach magic for Luca? Yeah.
I mean, he can go through here and then go back, because you go through here, you go to the end of the time, you go learn magic, you can go back to Medina then from the pillar, and then go get the item, I guess.
Yeah,
so hopefully he remembers.
I think it's actually a faster route.
He's going to teach frog magic.
He's not teaching chrono magic.
That's, well...
That's a time save by not putting chrono in the party.
But why teach frog magic if you're not going to use frog? Are you going to replace Magus with frog?
Possibly, yeah.
So you can have frog flare strats.
Frog flare strats, yeah. Yeah, it's very unfortunate that we don't know where Robo is and we can't use Omega Flare. I'd like to see Omega Flare strats again, but maybe not this seed, maybe not today.
I'm perfectly fine if no one ever sees Omega Flare ever again.
yeah, I can understand that.
For those who haven't necessarily been watching all the tournament, Moon and I recently had our race against each other, and our races are usually 2 minutes one direction or the other. One of us will win by 2 minutes. I was ahead by 3 or 4 minutes. Moon spent all of this time searching for the blue stone to get Omega Flare, and it saved him like 8 minutes because he could one-shot Lavos' main thing.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it by the end. But
Yeah, it was kind of weird. So I'm totally fine with no one ever getting to use Omega Flare ever again. All right, Procky.
and I think it's very. Sorry.
Procky has still not gone and bought the ruby knife.
I think he's just shopping, I guess. Yeah, I was going to say. I think it would be very nice if we could see more triple tags being used. It's kind of rare to get the exact nice party with the required party and the required tag combination, the required rock.
So, all right, he's
Mega Bomb.
Procky's in the dungeon. Did he pick up the ruby knife at the beginning of the game and we missed it?
I don't think he did.
Because there's no way that he's going to go through. I mean, all this does, it unlocks Mount Woe as a check. Surely he doesn't think that he has to climb Mount Woe to get go mode.
We hope not. We hope not.
Or to get gate key to find go mode.
I can't see his. I actually can't see his tracker on his stream. He's not streaming his tracker, but I don't remember him buying the ruby knife. Maybe he bought it as soon as he saw, but I don't think he did. But
another
yeah, let's
dress.
wait and see. Oh, another prism dress. Nice skip. Very good. Very clean.
Meanwhile, Janus is making his path through Genodome, and is, I think, has reversed the conveyor belts, so he is able to go make this check. We'll see if his fight goes slightly better.
I just hope that Brock is not going to climb Mount Woe.
That would be wonderfully terrible.
Oh, and there's Megas again. Yeah, but I do think he's going to use Frog, Luca, and Ayla for the.
Yeah, Frog in this particular fight would not be all that great because you have to have magic damage to deal damage to Nizbel at this point, and Frog doesn't have any. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, fight against Nizbel 2, you do need to use lightning attacks to reduce his defense. The only problem, and actually difference from Nizbel 1, you just need to use lightning once and it reduces his defense. But Nizbel 2, you need to keep using lightning to further reduce his defense. There is a strategy by using Ayla's Tailspin that does ignore Sarge's defense. But her damage with Tailspin is not that high, so that's why I think he's going for the lightning strategy. The downside is that
every attack with Luca though is raising the defense at the same time that lightning's dropping it. So at this
why
point,
not using Dark Mist then?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're gonna do that, might as well have Max use Dark Mist. Although keeping him shocked does reduce the number of times he'll attack, but eventually he'll do a lightning release and possibly electrocute your entire party.
Yeah. That is the downside of using lightning against Invisible 2 is that sometimes after a moment he will release the electric energy. I was not aware of that fact that he doesn't attack if you just use lightning. Is that a thing?
Yeah, in both phases, the attacks he do change based on whether or not he's shocked.
Hmm. Interesting.
Now that he's done the lightning release, Nizbel's defense is lowered, and so we see Blaze Kick coming out for 2,500 damage.
Go, go, go!
Go get your ruby knife.
Oh, maybe he's going to get the ruby knife after clearing this dungeon, but would be weird, wouldn't it?
Part of me thinks he has to already have it. I mean, he could go back and get it after doing this dungeon. It doesn't really matter the order in which you get it. Because if he doesn't remember that the ruby knife is there, and he was looking for go mode, he would have gone to Dactyl Nest to unlock a character, because we already saw him do Cathedral to do that.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I think, maybe he has the ruby knife already and we missed it.
Yeah, or he's going to go get it after he's done this dungeon. He's going to go from 1200 or 12,000 BC back to the present day, grab the ruby knife, and go back.
Yeah, just a reminder, everyone, we are doing our best here for tracking. We don't have a dedicated tracker today. Oh, and he missed this. Oh, okay.
All right, Janus is taking the easier path and putting the computers to sleep in Genodome. So now Mother Brain's not going to get healed.
Yeah, so Luca had Hypnowave from the start?
No, that came because Janus unlocked magic earlier.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
I will say,
there's Fire Wheel. Fire Wheel is a very.
I never seen that
Fire Wheel
tech.
is a really good. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a really powerful tech because it ignores ignores target defense, so you can use that for grinding at the Ocean Palace, and it's going to wipe the screen. It's mana efficient. It's fast. It's nice to see. Such a good dual tech.
Yeah. All right, so Janus has made it through. He's got his Dreamstone. And is also not going and buying the ruby knife. Why does no one want this ruby knife?
Oh my!
I know that I watched Janus run out and not purchase the thing.
So for those that are not aware with the Jets of Time key items, in vanilla you do need a dependent to open the last seal door in the Zeo Palace, but in Jets of Time you do need the ruby knife to open up Ocean Palace, and it's for this seed it's being sold for 999 gold, and they haven't bought it yet, we guess.
Is it quicker to go back through the gate and epic to 65 million BC? That's a good question. We don't have a good answer. Moon and I both have timed it, and we've both come up with our route is faster. He prefers to go through the valley. I prefer to go back and grab the epic and work back, and we're within like half a second of each other, so it's all about execution.
Yeah. Also, yeah, you have to consider if you want to check for a drop, there are 2 drops from the enemies in the Misty Mountains, and there is a chest there.
Yeah, there is a chest.
It's kind of early game. Yeah, by using Fire Wheel here, I mean, it ignores target defense, so it will be damaging Tyranno before he lowers his defense.
And now we'll see Blaze Kicks and I would assume Dark Mists. Oh, it's going to be Dark Bomb instead. Slightly more mana efficient, I guess.
Yeah, Dark Mist and Dark Bomb, they do both the same amount of damage. The only difference that Dark Bomb is a single, area attack, which uses 2 less MP than Dark Mist. So it's, yeah, I would say it's a more mana efficient, slightly more mana efficient.
Okay, so they're saying
Why
White
Dark Mist
Mist
and Dark Bomb?
You save 5 MP and do roughly the same amount of damage.
I think it's a 8 and 10, right? 8 MP for Dark Bomb? Or 5? Isn't it 8 and 10?
I thought it was 10 and 15.
10 and 15?
I thought. I could be wrong. I don't know Magus's MP cost well, because Magus's MP cost is, do I have ethers? If yes, cast spell.
Yeah, we can check before Procky uses it again.
Alright, so Black Chrono is on his last count. We're about to see whatever the ultimate attack. Never mind.
Good.
That's some pretty tight timing. It's 8 and 10 in vanilla.
Yeah, Mist has a faster animation. Yeah, 8 and 10, yeah. I do remember it being 8 and 10. It has a faster animation, but it's not that much faster than Dark Bomb. And by saving 2 MP...
Maybe it meant he didn't have to spend an Aether? I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, what's really interesting, we were talking about the Flame Whirl ignores defense, but only the tailspin part, it gets a damage boost. We've just recently discovered that dual techs apply a speed penalty to one of the 2 characters, and I don't know which character it is that gets the speed penalty. There is a new Excel spreadsheet somewhere in the Discord, but like if you cast Anipode and you have Marl and Luca at the same speed, Luca will be at half speed for the next ATB charge.
Really? Oh my!
Yeah,
I need to check that. And
I've got a video showing it. There's a big long discussion with an Excel spreadsheet and a whole bunch of technical mumbo jumbo talking about it, but it's very interesting.
But that means then maybe that's why she was always slower for lava fight after I did my Antipode 3 first time.
Could be.
And
yeah, now there's some interesting stuff. Terminus says Fire Whirl penalizes Luca. Okay.
How do we know which character gets penalized?
There's a spreadsheet.
Oh, okay.
Procky is maybe purchasing a ruby knife.
Yay!
Hey, Procky's not going to find out by trying to go to Ocean Palace and failing.
Oh, good. Procky, red knife. Oh, ruby knife for Procky.
Procky's got go mode.
Go. Do you think they can subdue?
It'll be tight. I typically tag from when you start the first golem fight to end of game as roughly 30 minutes. Assuming you have, assuming that you're going to do no grinding. The question is, are you going to grind for Flare for Luca?
Wow, Nova armor, mega elixirs.
All this gear to sell.
Sell.
Vigil hats for sale.
Vigil hat.
They give you status protection.
But he didn't buy any of that.
Yeah, don't think they'll be getting Marlin Robo. One of them is on Dactyl Nest, the other one's in Frog's Burrow. You've got Go Mode available. There's no reason to go get them unless you really, really wanted to have haste. And even then, it's a 50-50 shot of whether or not you can get it without getting 2 other items.
Yeah, Black Omen route is definitely not a possibility for a faster routing in this seed, unfortunately.
All right, good news. Procky did not have to take the teleport of shame by stepping into a teleport that he just left out of. That's never happened to anyone before.
It happened to me.
Oh, it is the worst feeling. It is the worst feeling.
It is. I mean, yeah, so he is good equipment-wise. 2 Prism Dresses, Prism Helm, Silver Stud, Speed Belt.
Yeah, so Prism Helm's going to provide some status protection. Prism Dress basically is free barriers on the girls. So from a defensive standpoint, he's good. From an offensive standpoint, you have Blaze Kick. That's all you need, really.
The only problem that I can see for Procky by unlocking magic very late in the seed, maybe he's not going to learn Flare at all. So, because Janus hasn't learned Flare yet, he has cleared Genodome. He has got a lot of tech points with that, with Luca in that dungeon. So maybe it's one of the last techs.
Yeah, could be a sad Luca seed. And we have Janus doing the Black Tyranno fights. It's got Confuse, Dark Bomb. Again, we're seeing Dark Bomb instead of Dark Mist.
And there's Drop Kick.
Now, we haven't seen any like fire resistance gear. The golem fights might be tricky. Well, as I say that, it burps.
Yeah, not the first one. Maybe Twin Golems.
Twin Golems might be tricky,
but if Rocky unlocks Hypno Wave for Luca, then it's a free fight. You can just Hypno Wave before.
Oh, final chance pointing out Janus bought 3 red vest in 65 million BC. So that'd be good for Janus once he gets there. And they're putting out Taco called Prism Go Mode. We don't have Marl. The Prophet has failed us today.
Oh, Taco.
Alright, so Procky making his way through the Black Omen. Not too many fights here that you have to take. Well, I take back. I was going to say not too many fights you have to take. Most of them you can run from, at least.
Yeah, you can actually skip several fights in the Ocean Palace if you really want. You can't skip this one, but you can run away from all of them.
You do have the elevator sequence that you can't run away from, and Janus is getting hit by the ultimate attack in on Black Tyranno, but he's got barriers up on everyone, so it doesn't look like death is not on the line.
So that is a very good use for Fire Wheel there, because Fire 2 would not be one-shotting everyone, and Frog doesn't have anything that actually can one-shot them, so Fire Wheel is the best take here.
Frog's got Frog Squash.
That's good. Dino Tail.
We have both Frog Squash and Dino Tail, so all of the strategies for the elevator, but we see... Magus went down.
I think
on
Frog. Yeah, Magus down. Frog, Luke, and Ayla, they are very powerful team.
It is definitely one of the more balanced teams because you've got good single target, good AoE, and good healing. It doesn't have
Agreed.
It doesn't have your massive damage. I mean, Blaze Kick is pretty good, but it's single target. You don't have a massive AoE damage. You've got Flame Whirl, which is nice, but you don't have
Frog Flare.
Antipode. Frog Flare, I guess, is good if you get Flare.
Frog Flare, but it actually requires you to prepare for that strat. Usually, kind of risky, but because you have to make Frog. You have to prepare Frog. Make him with low HP. Get him to low HP. Velis in order to do more damage with fire. Frog Flare.
Yeah, and the same drop kick, extremely good single target damage. Yeah, single target damage is not the problem. Single target damage, you've got Blaze Kick, you've got Triple Kick, you've got Drop Kick.
Oh, Flare!
Yeah. Okay, and there's Flare. Okay, now your AoE's fixed. But
Frog's not learning heal anytime soon. That's bad.
Yeah, the reason you'd want to bring Frog is for heal, because it's an AoE heal, which you can't hardly get anywhere. Janus?
Oh, that was a misclick.
What did we miss? Or what did I miss? Because I was looking to see if Janus had bought the Ruby Knife.
Luca just did a flame toss, I guess, but
oops.
Yeah, Frog Squash is still not enough. Fire Reel is the tech to use. I don't think Frog is going to learn heal.
I don't know. Brocky seems very intent on doing this fight sequence. And, I mean, from this point forward, I think it's like 650 tech points you learn. We saw he already has Water 2, so we're missing Cure and Heal as his two final techs.
Yeah, if you consider the first fight in the elevator, it's 759 tech points. If you don't, then it's 649. 44. No, sorry, 94.
Oh, Procky just moused over. I didn't see the number.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, Heal is Frog's last tech. I did not see how long it was going to take.
Yeah, so in order for Frog to learn Heal, he will be able to get, if he decides to get all the fights, including the first one in the elevator, because he does have access to Dino Tail, so he can get the first one. So it's 759 tech points.
He's just going to grind it here to already have it, I guess. So a little bit of catch-up time for Janus here, because Janus has or will very quickly get Flare, which would be the only tech that he's really missing. I think... No, Magus doesn't have Dark Matter yet either, but I would expect both of those to come.
I don't remember what level is Brock at.
They should be at plenty of high level. We get to find out now, does Janus actually have the Ruby Knife? Because if he tries to go through this door and can't, he doesn't have the Ruby Knife. Oh no, he has it. I saw it in his inventory.
Yeah, he has.
Janus does have it.
Yeah,
I don't know when he bought it.
Good.
But the good news is that means he's a go mode.
Go, Mike.
Good job, Janus.
Yeah, good job. Maybe Proc is grinding too much. I don't remember seeing his level. Yeah, so this is always kind of tricky. When you stop your grinding, when you go for it, when you... I mean, I think he's waiting for Frog to load a heal, but maybe that's too much. I don't know.
You just have to get close enough that the rest of the fights will give you heal. You don't have to have heal before you go through the rest of the fights.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I mentioned you can count on 759 tech points if you do decide to get the first battle in the elevator. I mean, I'm considering...
Maybe he wants heal for the double golems.
It doesn't need it, in a sense. Oh my.
Okay, so he was going to try and skip some of these fights, apparently. That was his thought process. He was going to try and skip a couple of fights. I wonder if Frog has enough HP lost to make Frog Squash kill the scouts. He's still at 156 HP.
Yeah, and he's deciding to skip the extra fights here.
Yeah. I still haven't seen him get healed though, so maybe he's calculated it out.
He did not heal. He did not heal.
This will be 60 tech points. But, I mean, if Janus decides not to grind or doesn't have to grind much to get his final text and he's happy with his step, I mean, this is a perfect chance for Janus to close that gap significantly. And now Procky is going back and finishing up his grind, apparently.
I mean, he's at level 29 at the moment. He doesn't need a lot of grinding in order to beat Lavos, so it's possible if he wants to try and catch up. Maybe he is feeling he is behind. So it would be possible for Janus to just go and try. Oh, they are dropping speed tabs. Oh, I just noticed that.
Oh.
Farmable speed tabs.
Well.
Yeah, so Procky did grinded more than we usually go for. Maybe we can ask him when the race finishes.
And the ones that are dropping the speed tabs is not the fight at the top. The fight at the top was just ethers. They have the mix of the little baton twirlers in the bottom two fights, and those are the ones that were dropping speed tabs.
Maybe it would be an idea. I usually don't do that, but maybe it would be an idea to just check the drops before starting the grinding. Could be something.
Maybe. I mean, speed tabs is probably the only item that grindability would make much of a difference on.
Yeah.
That's one item out of 100.
Yeah, no, the other possibility is if you happen to get a very good news shop, like with sellable prism specs, maybe, something like that. Haste helms, prism specs, and you don't have enough money, you can just grind for items that sell for a lot of money, die to Lavos phase 1, and go back to buy all the prism specs and haste helms you want. But it's kind of a YOLO
through the 5-minute cutscene of crashing the epic.
Yeah.
All right, so we see all the frog squishing going on.
Question, is Janus going to try and catch up and not be grinding that much? I think it's possible for him to beat Lavos by going now.
If he went straight now and he took every fight along the way instead of sitting here and grinding, he would get to like level 31, maybe 32.
31, yeah. No, I think it's good.
And he just looked at dark matter and he's going to grind for dark matter.
Oh, okay. How much tech points? I didn't see that.
I didn't see the number. I just saw him do the check and then immediately decide to go up instead of pressing on.
But I mean, again, Janus has a problem. He doesn't have Dino Tail or Frog Squash strats. Maybe he's going to bring Frog in for that. Maybe.
Yeah, I would expect him to bring Frog in just for the squash on the elevator. 'Cause that's something you can always... If Frog has squash in his first 3 attacks, you don't ever have to unlock magic on him. You don't have to do anything with him. He'll passively gain levels in the background, and then you can sub him in literally for an elevator ride and have him summon frogs through time. Also, everyone keeps saying Ayla can't do magic. Ayla summons dinosaur tails through time. I'm pretty sure she's got more magic than Magus does. I don't see Magus summoning dinosaurs anywhere. Procky not quite getting the scout skip. Maybe he's winning the kills for heal.
I don't feel that he's feeling like a pressure for time. Heal.
Okay, so that's heal for Frog, just in time for the double golem. So I guess that was calculated.
I do want to see. Yeah, I think because he's counting on not having any type of elemental armors to protect against the golems. He doesn't have the setup.
He's got automatic barriers on the 2 girls. So if Frog can keep them healed, maybe they can survive it.
He's going for Frog Squash strats. But he took his time to learn.
Yeah?
Heal?
Janus is not bringing in Frog for the elevator, so we're going to see the slow scout fight in a couple of fights. The first 2 attacks from the Golem Twins, assuming you don't have like 15 speed and immediately mess it up, are Iron Balls. Instead, we're going to get Frog Flare. I guess that's going to turn fire?
Fire.
Yeah, okay, it turns fire. And now that we've gotten a Frog Flare off, we're healing Frog. And hoping that he survives. Now, the really scary thing is the next attack is going to be like massive fire damage.
But he's going to use a Frog Squash in order for them to copy physical.
And then turns
and then the next... So it will not be an AoE fire attack, it will be single target fire attack again.
That is a really nice strategy.
Yeah,
I'm pretty impressed.
The battle.
Now I will admit
what
I would rather see is Frog cast heal, Ayla cast triple kick for the physical, or tailspin, I guess, because you need an AoE physical.
But I do have a question. Why grinding that much for heal when you'd be getting here? 254 attack points.
I guess to guarantee that you have it. You don't... With this team, you do not want to go against Lavos without heal. Your damage isn't quite high enough for the main Lavos phase, or debatable for Lavos core. Lavos Shell, you're okay because it's a single target and you just blaze kick the crap out of it, but...
Yeah, I think he wants a more confidence, to be more confident for Lavos, but usually Ayla level 37, that's nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, because of all that grinding, he is very well. Over leveled is probably too strong a term. He is
He
very
is
well
over-leveled.
leveled. Typically, we are fighting Lobos at like level 32, 33. So 37 feels awfully high. But the damage that would be coming out would be pretty good, even without... I mean, this seems been kind of stingy in terms of really great items. No sun specs, no prism specs, no rainbows, no wonder shots. We do have the prism dresses and a prism helm.
True.
So some good defensive items, but offensive items, they're non-existent.
Yeah.
And Janus is finishing up the scout fight. Spin cuts and auto attacks.
As long as Procky is able to manage Frog's HP to do Frog Flare strats, Lavos is going to be not a very hard fight.
Okay, so we're leading off with a Frog Flare. For 2,500 damage. I think Blaze Kick would have done more. I think Blaze Kick would have done more damage.
Yes, agreed.
I mean, granted, you still get triple kick on top of this. There's another 1,500 damage, so that's 4,000 damage versus 3,000 damage plus everyone's at full health, I guess. And we get to see what obstacle is. No, we don't, because it missed Ayla, and both Frog and Luca have status protection.
Nice.
And he's high enough level, he actually doesn't have to worry about the next attack either, because the next attack is only going to do about 300 damage at most. Frog's the only one at any real damage.
That attack is actually non-elemental, and the Prism Dress actually reduces the amount of damage that attack does, so that's convenient.
Oh, and it dropped Frog to 84 HP for a 4,000 point Frog Flare.
Extremely convenient.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice play.
This is any percent. You do not have to collect all items. You do not have to collect all characters or anything like that. That was a ridiculous Frog Flare. Now, I'm curious, is he going to... No. Is he going to save the Frog Flare and try to Frog Flare the arms? No, he's not.
Yeah. I think that's not advisable, because the very first attack for Lava Phase 2 is going to be Nipple Laser, so... He could try and maybe get into the about 400 HP mark.
And let the nipple lasers drop him down to 100 HP so he can Frog Flare.
Yeah.
Well, that would be some really exciting fights. I mean, as it is, he's down to 300 HP. It probably wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah. As expected.
Okay.
Boomerang's doing 300 damage.
The right arm.
Oh, the left one has lower HP.
Yeah, so he's trying to take out both arms at the same time, I guess.
Yeah.
As opposed to leaving one of them up. But now you're going to take double boomerangs.
Woo! Go, Frog! Frog Flare! No, he decided to heal.
Oh, I was going to say, now's the perfect time
for the YOLO strat. He's not going for the YOLO strat because I think he wants to play this very safely.
I don't blame him. All right, now we have a triple kick on the left arm and a flare. So that's going to drop left arm for sure. Probably drops the right arm as well. And we are going to get Obstacle immediately, followed by Poison Slay, and then Flame Battle, then I don't remember the name of the last attack. The one other high damage attack he actually does.
A Shadow Doom Blaze?
That's it, Shadow Doom Blaze. But those attacks will always come in sequence in a set of 4 and repeat ad nauseum until whatever timer there is behind Lavos says no, it's time to basically nuke the entire party in one turn, kill them all.
The question is, do you remember what is the next attack that happens after Shadow Doom Blade?
I mean, it's not an attack. It's the evil emanation that raises his attack power, and then it goes into obstacle again, unless it triggers the final attack. Because Lavos' great attack is on a timer of sorts, and it's not specific. If you don't kill the arms fast enough, it'll go off. If you sit on this part of the fight long enough, it will eventually go off. But I've had it go off after 1 cycle. I've had it go off after 4 cycles. It's not consistent.
Really? Yeah. Wow. We see. Was that a gold earring drop?
I think it was.
That's convenient.
Put that on Frog.
That's extremely convenient.
Janus has made it through the Golem Twins, so we're starting the Lavos fight. Proccy, I mean, is ahead by about 7 to 8 minutes, but this is not an over race, because if Lavos gets slappy, Lavos decides, yeah, I'm going to go to 1000 AD in a time warp, and then put all of your characters and stop. You're done.
Yeah, triple stop is bad. As bad as it can get.
Now, Luca and Frog, I think, both have status protection, but the left bit can remove status protection. Status protection. Now we do see Proccy getting the menu glitch, which gives you access to the menu before the fight to fully heal, fully ether in between fights. Even though this is glitchless, that is not considered an actual glitch. That's a product of like character placement, unlike the unequipped glitch. Well, we did get the time warp to 1000 AD, and Luca's status protection has been removed.
Uh-oh. I've been noticing recently that he usually warped to 1000 AD at the very first time warp. I don't know what is triggering that, but I've seen that.
All right. What's the bad news from Lavos?
Very frequently.
Frog got
chaos and
maybe looks like poison maybe on Luca.
Poison? Yeah, that's poison on Luca. That's not bad at all.
No,
much worse
that's
than that.
Completely survivable. Meanwhile, Janus is taking on Lavos Shell and should be nearing the end of that fight. I've been watching the damage totals count up. He should be close. And was it Evil Star going off and cutting everyone's HP in half? Frog Flare says thank you.
But is he going for Frog Flare threat right now?
No, he is not.
I don't think he's going to. Yeah, he's not deciding to do the risk threats.
All right,
the good thing is that Proccy still has 3 Mega Elixirs available.
He used one of them, so maybe only 2. But still, if you've got 2, you're probably okay. Janus did make it through the Lavos Shell, is healing up with his shelter. Got 3 Mega Elixirs in his pocket. Seeing some equipment swaps, maybe? No, never mind.
There's Frog Flare.
Yeah.
Doing 4k damage to the center.
I imagine what's going on is trying to get close to killing the center bit right before he revives the left bit. Now you can take down the center bit and be protected and still keep the defense down. Or he's just going to go for it.
Dreamless. Should be good.
Should be okay.
Everyone will survive.
Luca's got a barrier, but that's still pretty low HP.
Prism Dress, it's fine.
And let's see,
I
Janus.
see. Yeah, Proc is. Sorry.
I was gonna say Janus has survived the doors of doom, and is trying to get the left arm down before the boomerangs come out. And he went full attack. That's a Luminaire, a Dark Matter, and a Flare.
Oh.
And he avoids the boomerangs. That's a nice play by Janus. So we're getting close on time for Procky. What's that?
Blaze kick here is very convenient because you don't have to worry too much about the counter. If you use an AoE here, Lava Score will counter attack. And if you don't have a shield up, there's a lot of damage. But Blaze kick is a single target attack, so that's really convenient and good.
Yeah, having a high-powered single target attack is really great. And that's going to finish it. Procky is done.
Done.
GG to Procky. Final time looks to be 2 hours and 6 seconds. Almost sub 2.
Almost sub 2. Nice. GG, Procky.
We'll get an invite to him shortly, and hopefully he'll be able to come join us in chat for a bit. GG, Procky.
Oh, thank you, Corinth.
That was a heck of a run.
That was scary.
I'm not going to lie, you had me really worried that you had forgotten where Ruby Knife was.
No, I remembered at the exact perfect moment.
I was like, surely he's not going to go through the Black Tyranno, go climb Mount Woe looking for progression. Surely that's not what's going to happen.
No, I knew I had go mode like in my head when I got gate key, so I just forgot to go grab that Ruby Knife at the last second there.
And what is your overall opinion about the seed and how it played out?
It was a Geno Dome required seed.
Yeah.
Which basically means doing every dungeon.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's.
We don't have a question. Why you decided to go for Cathedral before heading into Geno Dome? You were playing the odd by.
Yeah, that's why,
yeah,
and I think you may recall that you saw me like I was hesitating there, like I almost went into Cathedral, and then I went to the future, and
then you went back.
It was like I was lost for a second, but I was like, okay, Cathedral, like chances are, now we have Chrono, Marl, and Robo to pick from, so chances are it's going to be Marl or Robo, and chances are that could be gate key, and I don't have to go through Geno Dome without learning magic. So that's why I finally made that decision, and didn't pay off.
Yeah, it was very interesting. We were just saying, it was like, what is he doing? We don't understand. And right now, Janus is taking on the Lava Score, trying to get the center bit down with just large numbers of attacks coming through. He's going to trigger a counterattack if he's not careful, though.
Yeah, I do remember Janus having 3 Mega Elixirs, so that's something he can rely on. Oh, that's only 2 now, but still. The problem is if you take the center, the core down without a shield,
you're dead.
It may actually be a suicide attack.
Luca does have nearly 800
700.
HP. She might be able to survive it without a shield.
Yeah, she should survive. With a Prism Dress, it even reduces more the physical damage. Yeah, she's fine.
So that's an interesting set of plays. So your decision on who to have in your party, you didn't have Frog for most of the time. You went and got him right at the end. Was that just because you're waiting to have Magic unlocked before you used Frog, and wanted him for heals at the end?
Yeah, I mean, he was useless pretty much mid game. I mean, he was okay early game because I had a good sword and I had leap slash, but like after that, it became clear that I kept swapping Magus in for Frog. And yeah, it was unfortunate that heal was his last tech, and it was like it's like almost 1,000 tech points to learn Frog's last tech. I don't know. I felt like it was a risky move and that I could fall behind, but I didn't want to have an unsafe Lavos fight.
Yeah, and
I was going to
Janus
ask that.
gained a lot of time on you. He was probably a full dungeon behind you when you started your grind, and then I mean he's literally one phase of Lavos behind here at the end.
Yeah,
so I mean he gained a lot of time there.
There was a point in my grind. There was a point in my grind where I learned everything I really needed except for heal, and then I checked my tech menu, and I was like, heal's the last one. And then I need about 4 or 5 more of these fights if I'm going to learn heal by the end of Golem Twins. And I went for it, and I guess it paid off. Yeah. But I did lose a lot of time doing it.
Yeah, it was a very interesting thing to watch, and we were kind of wondering, like, is this where Janus is going to catch up? Because he went through Factory and unlocked Magic early, so he already had Flare, and ended up having to stop to grind for a couple of fights to get Dark Matter. But, I mean, he almost didn't have to grind at all.
Yeah, it's always an interesting question whether you want to go through Factory for Magic, because it is a little lengthy, and it feels like you can be trying to find Gate Key while getting other key items you may need at the same time, sort of optimizing your play. And going through Factory feels like a waste of time sometimes, because I've been through many seeds where I'll go through Factory and then I'll just find Gate Key shortly afterwards.
That's a terrible feeling.
Yeah, on the good side, you did have Ayla at level 37, so that was a more comfortable Lavos fight.
Yeah, it was pretty over-leveled there. Yeah. It was all in the quest to find heal. And so I thought, hey, why not? Extra levels are good too.
Yeah. It worked really well.
The way the seed was going, like my go mode time and everything, I was like, I would be shocked if I had a sub 2 here, but I think it's still possible. And, well, as you can see from the time, it was almost accomplished. And that was even with grinding.
All that grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive time to get up to level 37. That in and of itself is pretty impressive.
It is, I think so.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's something for newer players to keep in mind. If you ever need levels or techs, and you've got access to Ocean Palace, that's where to grind, because obviously it gets you a lot of tech points and experience really fast.
Yeah, 80 tech points per fight means do 10 fights, get 800 tech points.
I did see that the bottom fights were dropping speed tabs.
Oh, GG Janus just took down.
GG Janus.
GG.
I can enjoy watching this VOD.
Yeah. And hopefully now Janus will be able to join us here shortly to get his feelings on the seed as well. Maybe shortly.
Yeah, by the end, we didn't have a lot of options in terms of routing, because everything was locked behind Genodome, and that was actually Go mode. By the end, there was no
Right. That was kind of
linear.
Yeah, it ended
by
up
the
linear.
end.
We was looking through the spoiler log. Robo was stuck in Frog's Hovel with the equipment to get Go mode through Black Omen behind Desert. So you would have had to gotten Go mode through Ocean Palace twice to be able to go through Black Omen. And I've not heard from Janus. I want to see if maybe he's popped into our Discord or something. No, not yet. And probably any other thoughts from you on how the seed went or anything of that nature?
I'm just glad it's over.
Yeah, your next match is going to be against Artemis.
And Janus has joined us. GG, Janus. Congrats on getting through. It's a very close race.
Janus, GG.
GG. It was very interesting.
So how did you feel about the seed overall?
Not too bad. The tech situation was a lot better than my last race, for sure.
Yeah, going through factory early actually paid off a lot for you because you were able to save a lot of time in the Mother Brain fight. Proccy almost wiped, I think, like 4 times in that fight alone.
Oh, wow.
Just couldn't get the damage down and keep it down because the robots kept healing and Magus died early. So you're just like, I go in, I Hypno Wave, everything's asleep, let's go.
Seeing Hypno Wave.
Yeah. It was about your decision to unlock magic by going to the factory because gate key was, somewhere, and you decided not to wait for it.
Yeah. And then because you went and got the magic early, you didn't have to grind in Ocean Palace near as much. So at one point you were about a dungeon and a half behind Proccy. And then right at the end, you started Lalo's core basically as he finished.
I think I was going into the second phase when I saw the finish. I was like, man. But it was really close, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it was.
It was a good race. It was a lot of fun to watch. Do either of y'all have any other parting comments for the crowd before we sign off?
Oh, just thanks to all the staff and to Janus and Moon Blizzard, Corinth, everyone who's involved. And come join us on the Jets of Time Discord. Woo!
Yes, do come join it. I don't remember. I don't remember the code for getting that link in chat now. Miracles have occurred. Yes.
So
come
this
join
was a very
Discord.
good seed. Thank you, SpeedGaming, for hosting the tournament. Proccy, GG. Janus, GG again. Great to have Corinth, you there to commentate. Thanks, everyone.
Yep, it's been a great night. Hope everyone had fun. Tomorrow there is another race starting at noon Eastern. So if you want some more Jets action, show up. I don't know which SpeedGaming channel it's on yet, but tomorrow at noon, more Jets of Time action. And
more me commentating, too.
Yeah, y'all get stuck with me again. Hope y'all have a good night.
It's always fun. Good night, everyone. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.
See you next run.